Welcome back to Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. We're continuing the snowy revisits of Donkey Kong Returns levels, hey? So we don't have to do the game now, right? Right? Right?
Ha 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 ha.
Well, regardless, I'm not doing it, so.
I mean, I think, honestly, since we've done all three of the classic Donkey Kong Country games, this game and Returns are very similar in many ways, and we've already done one of the weird ones with Jungle Beat. I think the only one we need to do one day is Donkey Kong 64. And
Yeah.
I feel like none of us, like, I've never played that game, but I know you're not in a rush to record it, Ryan,
Nope.
so, yeah,
Well,
you can...
I own it on the N64, so I might volunteer to record it after I replace my computer and get a better setup.
It's a long game, though, is the
Yeah, I
thing.
know. I've heard the horror stories of the collectathon madness that is Donkey Kong 64.
But that's only if you want to 100% it. To beat the game, you don't have to collect everything. It's just stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'll figure out how much I want to do, like, after I've played it properly.
So, one of the weird things about Donkey Kong 64, it's like one of the only pieces of trivia about the game I know, is that the emulation on the Wii U Virtual Console makes the frame rate better, and so that breaks certain minigames, and it makes it way harder in order to actually complete the game. I forget the specifics, but
You just barely missed the letter there, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing pisses me off.
And now he
Really,
has
like-
to do this section without Diddy Kong.
I mean, it's not that hard.
But it's always nice to have that little buffer for your mistakes.
I mean, this section is more chaotic looking than actually chaotic.
that was one of my least favorite things in Returns, is that it felt like a huge punishment to die, because if the game didn't give you another barrel right away, if I couldn't beat the level with Diddy Kong, I sure as hell can't beat it without him.
Yeah, no, Returns relied way too heavily on Diddy Kong. Which sucks because if you tried playing in two-player mode, it was almost impossible.
Yeah, because Diddy is a separate playable character there, and he's just better than Donkey Kong, because I think he can fly way better than if you're...
Yeah, he can fly with his jetpack on.
Yeah, but like since he's not carrying Donkey Kong, I think he can hover for way longer.
He hovers for a little longer, and I believe he's a little faster with it.
Yeah, so he's just better in every way. So
And it's stupid.
It's so weird that
I
they
mean-
don't let you play as Diddy Kong if they already have a Diddy Kong programmed in for multiplayer.
that would have been a really good unlockable incentive, is beat the game 100%, and then you get to play the game again as Diddy Kong. So like the Mario Galaxy thing, but actually more interesting. Because
And that's always been a staple of the Donkey Kong games is you have multiple playstyles to play with. You have Donkey and Diddy, where Diddy is faster, but he can't take on the big enemies, but Donkey is slower and can. Or, Diddy and Dixie, whereas Diddy is still faster than Dixie, but Dixie has the helicopter glide.
I feel like the thing is that in this game specifically, Diddy on his own is just better than Donkey Kong, because there isn't any specific enemy that Diddy Kong can't kill, but Donkey Kong can, or whatever.
I mean, they could have designed it that way.
Like, maybe they could have not have him have like a dash or something like that, so you can potentially go faster as Donkey Kong, maybe, or you can't kill enemies as easily or something. I don't know. They could have come up with some kind of idea.
I just find it weird that they didn't let you play as Diddy in single player when they already had a Diddy programmed for, individual
For being
play.
by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can unlock the ability to play as the other three Kongs in this game, right? Like separate, or is that?
Well, for multiplayer, yeah.
Yeah, but outside of multiplayer. I thought that there was I thought that there was a way that you could play as no. Okay, well that's
Funky
really...
mode, because it's all three of them in one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Funky Kong's dumb, and I hate him because nobody played as anybody else in Mario Kart Wii. It's just like all of the heavyweights are the same, I think. Wait, or was Funky Kong just better? I don't remember. Point is, everybody was Funky Kong, and I hate that asshole. All right.
I mean,
No, yeah, Funky is just the best character to play as at Mario Kart Wii.
Oh, I thought that all the heavyweights were the same. Like it was just heavy.
No.
No?
They,
Okay.
they all slightly different stats.
Okay. Well, anyway, fuck Funky Kong because Mario Kart Wii sucks.
But it's the best-selling one.
That doesn't mean it's a good one.
It's not
Like-
particularly good, but it did have enough good charm that I got into it.
The things that I don't like about it is that one, you just shouldn't play in the cart because
The bikes are just better.
Bikes are just objectively better.
yeah, and I don't like really the ways that the bikes control. I prefer the way the carts control. So there's that. I also am not really a huge fan of many of the courses in that game.
Yeah, they were a bit bland. They were a bit
and I-
simple, I say, because they were really pushing the motion control steering. But because they were pushing the motion control steering, they didn't want to get too complex with the controls.
Literally,
because,
the only course I can remember from Wii right now is Mushroom Gorge.
The other thing, and I don't know if this is actually true or if it just feels like it, but it feels like Wii is the most bullshit Mario Kart, in terms of stupid crap happening. It also, part of it is also because it was the first game to have 12 racers instead of 8. That means that there's 4 more characters to throw items at you. So
there's four more characters to rubber band.
yeah,
And
basically.
throw blue shells at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't remember where I said this, but Mario Kart Battle Royale with 100 players, make it happen. That would be terrible, but also hilarious.
Are we just talking like 100
Yeah,
racers,
100
or-
racers in one race.
I thought you meant like a battle mode thing.
I thought you were. I was thinking like balloon burst battle mode.
Well, that would be cool too, now that I'm thinking about it. But yes, I also want 100 people in a race so that like 4 of them have the blue shell at all times. Because that would be terrible, but again, also hilarious. I just don't want to be the one who has to play it. Make it like a Hunger Games style sport. Or whatever.
Hunger Games Mario Kart.
Yeah, the world is like on the precipice of Armageddon because we used up all our oil or something, so the last of the oil goes to the survivors of the 100 racer Mario Kart showdown.
Not just a race,
It-
but a
it-
special race to see
Oh,
who's the fastest.
No, it's not a Mad Max. It's Mad Mario.
The lore
Here's-
of Mad Max never really made sense to me. Is it just Australia that's fucked, or everywhere?
They drove all the way to get water, then they drove all the way back. What's there to be confused by?
There's more Mad Max movies than just the new one.
I know. I'm joking, Ted.
Also, I don't get why they're suddenly cool with Max by the end, even though he was just nothing but a helpless dickwad the entire time, but whatever. What's this? Oh, this is supposed to be the dinosaur level from the first game. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was like the one unique aesthetic that Returns had.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, the oil field.
Wait, oil field?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Returns, one of the
Ha!
one of the gimmicks was an oil refinery.
With
Yeah.
like lots of dinosaur stuff around.
And they don't.
Yeah.
And they say that games can't be educational.
Which I mean, basically, that's just like a returning of the Creme Croc Industries from 1.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
I thought
kinda.
that they had the factory level later on though, which was just all normal factories.
Dope.
Hey, editing.
Yeah,
Excellent.
no, this playthrough has been very good in terms of editing, Ryan. You get a golf clap. Okay, I'm done now.
Why does everyone involved in politics play golf? By the way, would it kill?
You've asked that before.
Oh,
It's the laziest sport.
did we do that like earlier in the same commentary?
Probably, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think so, yes.
for some
The
reason,
short
like-
version is because it's a rich white person sport.
For some reason, like I have the same thought process when I revisit things. I'm not really sure. Like maybe my brain is secretly a calculator, and the numbers it turns up are always going to be the same. But like, I tend to think about the same things a lot when I revisit the same subject matter. I don't know why. Still, I want to see a president with a Twitch channel.
Actually, I don't, because I feel like our president has said enough racial slurs for one term.
Oh, come on, they can raise the... who am I kidding? That's not going to happen.
Yeah, no one's gonna pass that. Let's be honest.
So anyway, yeah, because there was a whole factory world in the original Returns. Yeah, I remember.
This is one of the harder levels in the game.
Oh, we're doing some like Virtual Boy shit here.
I'm still shocked that they didn't end up re-releasing any of the Virtual Boy games on like 3DS, because it would have
probably because none of them are any good.
Well, no, it's like most of them aren't bad. They're just mostly eh. Like the Wario Land game, from what I've heard, is fine.
That's like the only good one though.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's not that most of them are terrible. It's just that most of them are unremarkable. Is the thing.
So why go to the trouble of converting all of them to work on the 3DS when no one's really going to care outside of novelty?
Would have been cool to have like the Jack Brothers game or something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just more because there's no other way to play Virtual Boy games. And maybe if there were like options to not have it destroy your face, maybe people would find more enjoyment out of them.
Yeah, I mean, like, no one cares enough to make a Virtual Boy emulator.
I'm sure it exists, but yeah, nobody really cares enough to try to go out of their way to use one, for sure.
Well, there's several stages that emulators go through, and I have a feeling that no one cares enough about the Virtual Boy to get past the first one, which is just running the fucking OS. So, Like,
I don't know. I guess just from a preservation standpoint, there's no real way to play Virtual Boy games unless to get an actual Virtual Boy, and I sure as hell am not doing that. So,
Yeah, I have no interest in any of the Virtual Boy stuff.
I mean, I guess the short version is I want a decent Wario Land game. So why don't
I would like another one of those too, please.
maybe Goodfeel can stop making arts and crafts projects and try another one.
That'd be nice.
Who? What?
Goodfeel.
Goodfeel
They're
is
the ones that made Shake It, right?
yeah. So the company who made the most recent Wario Land game, Shake It on Wii, which is actually really well animated. Like the sprites look like they could be like an actual cartoon. They also made Kirby's Epic Yarn, Yoshi's Woolly World, and Yoshi's Crafted World. So they've just been playing with their sons and daughters' arts and craft kits for the past like 10 years. And so it'd be nice to see them do something a little bit different.
I do remember playing a demo of Shake It at like a GameStop and really liking the look of it.
So what you're saying, Ted, is you want a claymation Wario Land.
You see, I don't think I'd like that because the claymation Kirby game kind of looked weird to me. Not Canvas Curse.
Rainbow Curse.
Rainbow Curse, yeah. Although I didn't play that game because I greatly dislike Canvas Curse, so if it was going to be more of the same, I decided I'd pass. But the way that the characters looked weird to me. Claymation is such a bizarre art style, and I don't think I've ever liked it unless if it was the Wallace and Gromit guys.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Like, I've seen a lot of bad claymation.
It's such an expensive and hard animation form that I'm surprised people still even bother like using it in today's day and age, really.
You know,
Yeah,
we
anything
almost
stop
got
motion.
a version of Jurassic Park that was stop motion.
Oh god. That sounds like a modern day Jason and the Argonauts. Now that I'm thinking about it, which I don't think anybody really wants or needs.
Well, I mean, like, way back when they were trying to figure out how to do the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, we almost got stop motion.
Yeah, which I mean makes sense for something to.
I'm just glad they decided they weren't satisfied with that, because what we got was a lot more, for better or worse, a lot more influential. Although, we do kind of have Jurassic Park to blame for George Lucas creating the prequels.
Wait, really?
Yeah. He was so impressed by the CGI that he decided he wanted to do the prequels.
Because he wanted to do.
He wanted to
aliens
see what he could do with CGI technology, yeah.
Oh.
That's sort of
Oh.
why the prequels are a bit all over the place and how they utilize it. Like, they start off with, like, Phantom Menace, which was partly practical, but also very CGI heavy, and then Attack of the Clones, which is all CGI, and then Revenge of the Sith, which was...
Revenge of the Sith is also all CGI, but it's just amazing how much better it got in 3 years.
Yeah.
Because the CGI in Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones, sorry, is abysmal. Like, I'm thinking of...
Yeah, it kind of is.
Oh, God.
They tried using, like, a CGI stunt double for Count Dooku, and it didn't look good.
I mean, at the very least, like, Christopher Lee was probably, like, what, 70 at the time? Or, no,
Yeah,
probably more
more
like
than that.
80. So, at least, you know, it makes sense for them to try to do it, but...
Yeah, but they would have done better if they had an actual stunt double.